good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is
Good morning.
Nashville Success Summit weekend. We are 48 hours away. I'm going out for a walk this morning. So if you see me in the gym Monday morning, this is who I am. Okay. This is what I look like in the gym. About to go for a walk, but I wore my Rock the Country t-shirt this morning since we're going to Country Music USA. That is hometown for me. So I am so excited to be joining you guys and hosting this morning with my dear new friend, Miss Rebecca. I don't see her yet, but she must be here somewhere. Miss Rebecca Black. And so if you have joined us for this is our fourth in the series, put a 5 in the chat. We know how Brock loves 5s in the chat. So if this is your fourth time joining us, you know that our series has been around lead generation, and we kind of tied it into farming since I'm a farm girl. And so today we're going to do step 4 in that. I see lots of speakers on here. Thanks for joining us, friends. We are going to give all of them 1 minute. 1 minute. It's very hard for speakers to talk for 1 minute, but we're going to give them 1 minute at the end of this call to give us a brief description of what they're going to be talking about when you get there. So how many, raise of hands, how many of you are coming to Nashville with us? Okay, awesome. I see hands. I'm excited. Justine, I know she's speaking. I know Rebecca's speaking. I know Michelle's coming. So we're going to get to that. But today, I want to start out by really wrapping up this 4-part series that Rebecca and I enjoyed working with you guys on. And if you remember, it was the 3 parts to the sale. So we know that there is preparation is step 1, presentation is step 2, and follow-up is step 3. So most salespeople say, oh, I'm really good at all 3. But when we dig into that process, I will be very honest. And for many years in my business, my weakest link was follow-up until I learned that follow-up is where all the money's made. Listen, we can delegate the preparation. Somebody else can pull the comp. Somebody else can put the PowerPoint together. Presentation is super important. Showing up on time, being polished, answering the right questions, being best prepared. But at the end of the day, the money that is left on the table is in the follow-up. We get in our own mindset of, oh my gosh, I don't want to look desperate following up with these people. They know I'm the best person for the job. They'll call me when they're ready. And guess what? About 2 weeks will pass and you'll drive past and somebody else's sign's in the yard. And you will be super ticked off that you passed by that opportunity to get that sale because you were too in your own head about the follow-up. So if we know all the money's made in follow-up, our systems in that department should be super tight. And maybe the first thing you went to today in your brain was when we go to follow-up is the speed to lead. I think it's super important. Speed to lead is very important. I think it shows us as a professional when a lead or referral comes in that we at least touch base with that lead and let them know when we'll have time to call them back or how we expect to communicate with them. But I will tell you, I think over the last, spent 30 years in real estate in Nashville from 1988. Some of you probably weren't even born in 1988. I'm showing my age. From 1988 until 2017, I was in the real estate industry in Nashville. And through that and a lot of coaching and heartache and headache, I really truly feel that the number one thing in follow-up is the client experience. And so that's really what I want to talk about with Rebecca today. We're going to dig into a couple things that we think really set us apart in the client experience. Listen, anybody can show up at the appointment with comps. Anybody can send a handwritten note after the call, after the appointment that says, hey, thank you for your time. I hope you choose me. But there are things that we can do throughout the client experience, I should say throughout the transaction, during the client experience, from the time the phone rings. What separates you from your competition? All the way until forever. I talk about follow-up is from the time the phone rings until forever, until you die or I leave the industry. there's got to be follow-up as a salesperson. And I think this is where we get in our own head. I'll send a mailer, they'll call me when they're ready. I don't want to bug them. I don't want to look desperate. And I want to remind you, you're desperate, bills to pay, mouths to feed. We got things to do. We need to move past that. Because the alternative is we leave these clients at their own discretion to go online and to pick somebody that's not as polished, that is not as professional, that doesn't care about the client experience, that's in it for the money. There may be some greed, there may be some true desperation, and we turn those people out to the masses to get a bad experience. And then who gets the revenge of that? Our industry. How many of you have heard a comment about realtors are greedy? Realtors don't care about the client's experience. They got their check and I never heard from them again. You guys have heard that when you've gone to somebody's house or appointment and they say, we're not using our last realtor. I always ask why. If you bought your house with Mr. Jones, why aren't you going back to Mr. Jones? And it's usually no follow-up, never heard from again, didn't have extensive checklists. I had to chase them. I didn't feel appreciated when I gave them a referral. And that's all due to follow up, right? So that's what I want to talk about today with Rebecca. So Rebecca, I'm going to turn it over to you. Give us one or two things that you feel like in this part of our business that we're lacking, that you do different as to why your clients come back to you, because you have these finite points in your follow-up system. And good
Well, first of
morning.
all, Kendra, yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I was a few minutes late getting on, figuring it out this morning. Zoom decided to do an update, but here we are. And you know what, Kendra, I really love the way that you set this up because it really goes back to what we talked about last month. And that was the fan method that you laid out. Find a need and fill a need. And so one of the things that I always do in any conversation that I'm in, I try to find one or two little nuggets that don't have anything to do with the transaction or with the business part of what it is that we are talking about. Whether that is a pet name, whether that is a vacation that's going on, whether that is their spouse's name, whether that is something significant happening in their life. And one thing that I love to do is in the follow-up being like, hey, how's your kids' graduation going? Like, did you guys have your great big party? Because when you make it human and you make it that personal connection, you show, hey, they actually did pay attention to that. In the world of real estate, hairdressers and real estate people, we help people with the biggest asset in their life. Hairdressers, we help style you for the pictures that you hang on the wall, the family portraits that are going to go all over it. And real estate professionals, you guys help guide the whole process. And so when you're guiding people through that type of thing, you darn sure better know how to let them know that you aren't just there for their money. It's not a one and done. I'm just not like your listing agent or your buyer's agent. I am an actual ally of yours. I am a team member of yours. I am a business partner of yours. And I want to service you after the sale. And that's kind of like my motto that I like to use is service after the sale. And I'm going to give like a little shout out to Fran Lucci, who's here. She reached out to me after one of the podcast segments, and she was like, hey, like, I want to be in contact with you. Can you send me the thing that you did in the podcast? I'm like, absolutely. She's like, and what's your address? And then a week later, I get this beautiful card. It's a nice quality luxury card. So I know that Fran is in the luxury space. There's a little Starbucks card in there. And I'm not saying that everybody has to do something like that. But what I'm saying is I'm saying that Fran took the time to pay attention that I actually drink coffee almost every single time that I am on the Wednesday Wisdom. I'm not drinking it this morning because we haven't made it that far yet. We have been under the weather, but we're having coffee after this. But Fran paid attention to something that I do when I show up. Okay. And so when you pay attention to things like that, even if this is another thing that I love to do, if I notice a lady has on a nice outfit, or even a man has on a nice outfit, like a belt or a shoe, I'll find something to compliment and be like, I love that belt. Where'd you get that? They'll tell me a store that they like to shop at. And if I see there's a sale on that, I'll be like, hey, just so you know, this place that you got your belt at has a sale going on. Didn't know if you saw it. And it's little tiny things like that that show people that you're not just paying attention to them to list their house or to bring a buyer to them. You're paying attention to them because you actually give a darn about what it is that they have going on in their life. You paid attention to the small details because the fortune absolutely is in the follow up. And the better that you can get at remembering that one thing, like if it's someone's name for me, like clients in the salon, I always prided myself that I never wrote down a color formulation and I never took notes on any single one of my clients that I had in my chair, which is almost unheard of in the hair industry. But I remember them, and still to this day, like if I see Miss Barbara in the grocery store, I'm like, how is your granddaughter? Is she still in the marine biology field? Now I can't remember her granddaughter's name, but I remember that her granddaughter was in marine biology. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you remember that. You haven't done my hair in 10 years. But it's because I care. And when you follow up with people about something that they care about, something that is important and is special in their life that has nothing to do with you listing or helping them buy a new house, I'm telling you, it puts you apples and oranges above the competition. And that truly boils down to your confidence and your ability to be relatable to them in a human level outside of the business world.
Yes. So what she just taught you is called weaving. How many of you have heard that term before? Anybody in sales heard the term weaving?
I've
Okay.
never even heard that.
Okay, so the term weaving means that when you're having conversations, whether it's on an all about you form at the grocery store, in her beauty chair, we're at their house, and they say things like, hey, we're expecting a baby, or my husband just got a promotion, or, we're taking this trip, all the things that she noted, you put those notes in your CRM. And the next time you call them, you weave that information into the conversation. You guys, let me tell you something. People don't care how much you know. They don't know what CRS means. They don't know what a broker is. They think because we're in the multi-million dollar club, we made multi-millions. They don't have a clue. But what they know is if you hear them and you stay in touch with them and weave that information back in, you care. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that is number one step of follow up, period. Weaving that information back in, taking great notes, using that to have further conversations. And when they can trust you with the littlest things, guess what? They can trust you with the biggest asset of their life. That's follow up number one. Okay. I want to give you guys a couple other little things to think about in follow up. The number one reason people don't refer you a second time is because they didn't feel appreciated the first time. So if you don't have a step-by-step follow-up process when you get a referral, develop it soon. Develop it today. That can be as easy as the minute the referral comes in from a past client or a friend, and you make connection with that referral, you either call or text them right away and say, hey, I have made contact with John. We have a scheduled appointment at X, and I will continue to keep you updated on how things flourish. I go to the appointment with John. Step two for me is a handwritten note with a $5 card, Starbucks card, ice cream card, something that says, hey, I met with John and it was a huge success. We've listed his house. There's not a greater compliment for a realtor than you to trust me with your friends and family. Please have a cup of coffee on me while I work and take great care of John. John closes. John gets a closing gift. Guess who else? Guess who else gets one? The person who referred it. It doesn't have to be an elaborate gift, folks. We get so tied up in, well, I can't write this off on my taxes. I don't gift people for the benefit of writing it off on my taxes. I gift people for the mere fact that I want to show gratitude. I want to be gracious and grateful for the opportunities that somebody trusted me enough to refer me in my services. So if you in the past have been that person, well, I don't want to gift and I don't know what to give, get over yourself. Go buy a, 4-pack of Starbucks cards, keep them in your drawer. Get some movie tickets to a local theater, put those in your drawer. Go get some books. I have a box in my closet. If I read a book and I love it, I'll order 5 more books and I keep them in there. I send thank you books to people who give me referrals for speaking because we're all business people, right? I have some little trinkets in there for people who give me referrals, things like that. But listen, have some things on hand. Don't make it hard to give people, because if you are not being gracious and grateful when people refer you and you don't have a system, let me assure you, they will not feel appreciated and they do not want to refer you in the future. Okay. The second tip I want to give you, most of us on here are real estate agents. If you do not do this, this is an extensive way to follow up. We're in January. Go back through the list of all of your buyers and sellers that closed with you. Pull what used to be the HUD one, which is now their closing disclosure, and come up with a fast little form letter that says Happy New Year. One of the things I'm sure on your calendar in January is pulling all of your documents together to prepare your tax returns. I wanted to save you a little effort by providing you a copy. It's enclosed here. Take this to your tax preparer, CPA, whoever, and hopefully it'll save you some money. As a service of Cooke Realty Partners, we're always here to serve you and look forward to serving your friends and family in the future. Ta-da! If you had 20 closings, that's $20. Stamped piece of paper. If 20 people get that letter, how many referrals do you think you'll get? How many of you currently do that right now? Put a 5 in the chat so I can see. If you currently do that, I'm high-fiving you from over here, because I think that that is one of the easiest systems you can put in place. If you've never done it, here's your tip for, I'm all about systems and processes. You guys know that if you heard from me. Put it on your checklist. The day of closing, you print a copy of that out, the HUD, the closing disclosure, and you highlight the person you represented, and you get a file folder and you put them all in there. And guess what? January next year, you've already done that work. That job is ready to be pulled out, addressed, send the letters, and get them in the mail. It's a big wow for people, and it's a little bang for your buck, right? It's a small investment, a small task. So I'm excited to spend time with you. I want to stop talking. We want to make sure that each of our speakers get just 1 minute to tell us what we can expect when we hear you speak in Nashville. And again, I'm so excited to be going with you. Yes, giftology. I'm trying to go through these things. I'm not a multitasker. We're not meant to multitask, right? So I can't read and talk at the same time. So I'm always a little behind on the comments. But the first person that popped on my screen this morning, and I'm super excited to meet this person because I've been watching her on social media since I saw she was on the platform with us. In Nashville is Justine, and she is obviously on her way to some $1 million meeting because she looks like $1 million in her car. And so Justine, give us a 1-minute play on what we can expect from you when we see you in Nashville this week.
Yes, I'm so excited to be heading to Nashville. I'm going to try to head out tomorrow afternoon, and just the connection to meet all of you if we have not met in person just yet. So I am super excited to have the platform about my journey and how I've used the confidence, clarity, and connection to grow my business over the past year and integrate social media and video. And guys, it truly changes everything, but it starts with the vulnerability within yourself. And I'm so excited to be able to share with you guys a little bit of a framework on that, help you guys lower those barriers and step into that confidence. So I'm so excited to meet each and every one of you. If we have not met just yet, I'm so excited and looking forward to meeting each and every one of you.
Safe travels. We'll see you there. Thanks, Justine. The next person that popped up on my screen is also on his way to some amazing appointment, or maybe the gym. I'm not sure. Mr. Brian unmute yourself and let us know. I'm looking forward to meeting you as well. And tell us a 1-minute snippet of what we can expect from hearing from you.
Sure. I'm just got done dropping off kiddo at school, and I am actually headed to the airport because I'm flying a little bit early in for the weekend. So we're going to be doing a dinner with Jim tomorrow night. But what we're going to talk about is how to understand other people in less than 7 seconds, to understand how to make it about the person instead of just pitching your product. So you'll be able to look at people and instantly understand, how do they process information? How do they take in information? And then how do you talk to them? Because we're all accidental narcissists, and that we were taught the golden rule, and that is treat people the way we want to be treated. But in reality, people want to be treated the way they want to be treated, which is known as the platinum rule. Well, there are ways that you can actually look at people and understand through their words and through their facial features how to present to them in exactly that way. So that's what we're going to talk about at the conference. And I'm going to be right before lunch on Tuesday. So you'll be able to put the skills right to practice as soon as we break.
I love it. Can't wait. Awesome. Safe travels to you. Enjoy my hometown. Have lots of fun. I'm a little jealous. I'm not flying until Sunday, so enjoy. Let's see. Who else have I got? Chris. Yes, Chris is here. Okay, great. I'm trying to go through my list. When you see me looking down, I have them on my phone, so I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. So, Mr. Chris, share with us what we can learn from you while we're there.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much. I am so excited. We're going to be talking about Holy Hustle, how faith-fueled leadership can help you transform your business. There's so many times that we have this faith, we believe, we've got all these great ideas, and then we don't let them show up in our business. We only compartmentalize that to Sunday for an hour or two at church, right? Maybe we say some prayers in the morning, but how can we weave our faith so that it becomes part of our identity and allows us to be the best person we can be, attract more business, and just really living a more meaningful life because that faith is fueling our business. So excited.
Oh my gosh. Man after my own heart. I'm on fire for Jesus. I love it. Thank you,
Yes.
Chris. Excited to hear you. All right. You speak right after me. So everything that I tell you to do wrong, Chris is going to tell you how to do it faithfully right behind me. I'm a flawed human. I'm just going to tell you, don't expect perfectionism because it's not here. Okay. All
Awesome.
right. Chris, look forward to seeing you there. Safe travels.
Thanks.
All right. Let me see who else I've got. Joe.
See, we have Joe. Yep,
Yeah,
Joe's
I
on.
was going to say, let's go, Joe. Tell us what we're going to learn from you. Is he muted? We can't hear you, Joe. Can you
He's muted.
He is muted. Okay.
You gotta unmute Joe. In the meantime, let's see,
for
which
it.
other speaker do we have on
That's
here?
what I'm looking for. Who else is speaking that I'm missing you because you're not on my screen? Who am I missing?
Sandy.
Who's me? Who's me?
Sandy.
Oh, Brock. Yeah, buddy,
Brock.
you're last.
How could we forget Brock?
Show. Come on.
I was saying Sandy.
Oh, Sandy.
Can you hear me?
Where's
Brock.
Sandy?
Yeah.
Sandy.
I don't see you. Okay, go for it, Sandy.
Okay, guys, I'm going to turn it on real quick. Actually, I'm going to turn it off so I don't stress myself out. I'm on the road, but I'm super excited just to be around, first and foremost, my family. Like, I see a lot of friendly, awesome faces that I know and love on here. So excited about that. But taking it to the next level, everybody on this call, we're here because we truly want to level up. We all know how to make money. So what I'll be talking to you about is how to leverage your network to own apartment buildings and start creating passive income streams. So you're making money. Every single person on this line can own apartments. It's not something I aspired to do, but now I own over 300 doors in a short period of time. So that's kind of the message that I'm going to put out to everybody, and I'm hoping that it's received.
Yay, we're excited. I didn't think I ever wanted to own rental property either, but it is passive income, people. So awesome. Looking forward to learning from you, Sandy. Anybody else I've missed? Did we get Joe back?
Joe was having camera and audio issues, he said. So
okay, we'll pass on Joe. Anybody else before we turn it over to the man of the hour? Who is anybody? No? Okay. Everybody, I'm going to turn it over to Brock to close this out, the man of the hour who had the vision, who has worked tirelessly for those of us that are speakers. He must have 35 assistance because you can text him, he responds. We're getting emails, we got chats going. I mean, the man is with the plan. So, Brock, thank you first and foremost for asking me to speak and to be a part of this series with Rebecca. I've learned so much, and I'm going to turn it over to you to close us out.
Well, first and foremost, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We got you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Kendra, I want to say thank you so much for you because we have a little bit, you lived right down the road from me. And I think God really aligns us up at the right time for the right moments and everything else. And obviously, when you were working over there at the core and I knew you, and you worked actually with one of my first teams, I heard you speak. And little did I know that we would be aligning ourselves up together in a totally different state in your hometown. So thank you so much, Kendra, for being a part of this culture, this community. So I'm very, very thankful to have you speaking and sharing and pouring into people because I'm blessed and honored to be able to hear from so many of you. You guys text me, trust me, I get a lot of texts. I was telling my team, I'm very blessed and fortunate. I do have 6 people, 6 virtual agents who work for me. 5 of them work full time because doing events and doing these podcasts every single day is a lot. There's a lot that goes on, but for whatever crazy reason, I enjoy it. I don't know why, but I do. I am still in New York City. So you asked me if I was in New York City, and I'm still here. My daughter and I, Brielle, we went to go see Wicked last night, and what an amazing, amazing musical. But here's the thing I wanted to close out with, and I'll share a couple thank yous as well. But as I was sitting watching Wicked, I'm watching the program, but at the same token in my head, I look over and it's pretty, my daughter's like, we're literally in a hotel room. So she's like laying in the bed right here. And I got to look at her at the musical. And many people told me that she's going to remember this for the rest of her life. Have you ever been in a position where you're living a memory that somebody else will have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now? I've never been in that position until last night. And it was the most amazing feeling to know that you're creating a memory. And I know this for those that come to Nashville, you will create a memory. The speakers will create a memory. You will create a memory, and it will resonate with you. And you will remember this moment, whether it's a year from now, 5 years from now, because I remember my first event that I went to. And it transformed my life, just like I remember the first time I met Kendra, Rebecca, Chris, all of these speakers, every single one of you. We will have a first time in Nashville, whatever it might be. And so I encourage you that if you're trying to find your first time, if you're trying to figure it out, for those that saw my post this morning, I was working in a bathroom because I knew that at 5 o'clock in the morning with Brielle, was probably in a hotel. It wasn't fair for her to wake her up because it was something I chose to do. And so I worked in the bathroom. And so I share with you all, whatever it is that might be in your way, whatever it is that's holding you back, this venture, this Nashville, these speakers are pouring everything they have. They've been all looked at. They've all spoken to you in some capacity. And I can just encourage you to get in the rooms because live events change lives. And Kendra and Rebecca, I personally want to thank you both. I met Rebecca in an event, and since then, her and I have been BFFs. She's coached me, she's helped me, she's been willing to do at any given point. I met her husband, Dave, just really blessed and thankful for you all. So if you still are thinking about Nashville, I'm telling you, there's no time. You still can get in your car. You still can drive there. The hotels are still available, and we do have a couple seats left. So thank you all very much. Rebecca and Kendra, I will actually pass the baton back to you all and let you guys close this out before we get into Nashville.
Rebecca, take it away, girl.
Listen, we cannot wait to see you in Nashville. If you haven't gotten your ticket and you're on the fence, get your ticket. See us there. You're going to learn how to reset your confidence. You're going to learn way more than you learned in this, and we cannot wait to see you there. We will see you Sunday night in Nashville. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.